Hello, welcome to my other show. My name is Susan Rushton and this is Muse. This is a show on which I am privileged to, I'm thrilled to, I'm allowed to, I just get to, like I said, talk to people who are involved with the arts community in the area. People who listen to the Muse, in other words. I'm not sure if Rosie Stilwell listens to the Muse, but she certainly listens to and helps people who do listen to the Muse, who are visited by the Muse. Rosie Stilwell, volunteer extraordinaire. You have seen Rosie everywhere, walking around, checking things, arranging things, visiting people, making sure things, arts, anything to do with the arts is well done. And if you are involved with it, in my opinion. And because you are involved with so many things, it's not only my opinion. Thank you very much for joining me, Rosie.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. So I want to go back to the 90s, in the 20th century. I know we served on the original Arts Commission together. Is that where we first met?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think you were a name that I knew, but that I did not know you personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we were charter members on the Arts Commission.
Right.
I just thought it was cool to be, cool to be on the Arts Commission. Cool to be involved with the arts in Auburn. Why did you join? Why did you become a member?
The thing that really sticks in my memory as far as the formation of the Arts Commission, I remember having the understanding that Bud Fisaric, who most of the community knows, it took him 4 years to get the city council to actually approve having this arts commission for the city of Auburn. And to me, I mean, that shows he was really dedicated to making it happen and having this stick-to-itiveness to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I think we owe Bud a lot of credit for that organization.
Yeah. It's and blowing my own horn.
Right.
That Auburn Silver Screen Classic Movie Series, auburnsilverscreen.com, the first Saturday of the month at the Auburn Library. It got its start through the Arts
I remember it well.
Yes.
I remember putting the cardboard in the windows in the city council chambers so that we could have darkness in late afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
It was.
And we decided, we figured, I was convinced it would be a great way to raise money for the commission. To fund other
right. That
events.
Was your motivation.
That was my motivation. Also, I wanted to see these classic movies on a big screen in a beautiful location. I love the city council chambers.
Right. I do too.
But
it is a special place. Without the cardboard, even better.
But we sometimes 161 seats in the city council chambers. Sometimes there were nights when we only had 2 people in the audience. That doesn't happen anymore after 21 years.
And I have fond memories of your brother coming to play with one of the silent films.
Yeah.
That was very, very special.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but why did you mentioned Bud Paseric,
right.
but why did you decide to be on the commission?
I would say it goes back to my earlier years in Auburn, and I had kids going through school, and, you know, I was involved in school activities, I was involved in church activities, and chaired various committees from time to time, and had some really good mentors along the way, so I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then once my kids were out of school, I thought, you know, I want to get involved in something else, like the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, first off, I had applied out at Sutter Auburn Faith Hospital for art curator position. I had absolutely no experience or knew much of anything about art, but I worked for the Placer Nevada County Medical Society, and I thought, well, I have some good references, and, you know, maybe I can get on, you know, doing the art out there. The only thing that scared me was their security system, and I certainly didn't want to, you know, set off any alarms. Well, I didn't get the position. I mean, they narrowed it down to like 3 people, of which I was one. But, you know, Lori Barrows, who does it to this day, she is an artist, and, you know, she had experience, so rightfully so, she should have it. So then it was after that that the Arts Commission, you know, application opportunity came up, and I thought, well, I'll try to, you know, see if I can get on this. So that was my first so-called success or involvement in something to do with the arts.
Yes.
And yeah, we were a good group, and made, you know, a few lifelong friends out of that.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, this is good.
Yes, and we were responsible for getting up some murals.
Right, yeah, we were starting from scratch. I mean, I still remember Barbara Muscat and I putting together a, you know, like a scrapbook type thing that we could present to Placer Arts because they had grant money to give us, and apparently we did a good job with that because it was successful in getting us a little starting fund.
Yes, yeah. And now the Arts Commission is really a healthy, happy, working
Definitely,
thing
yes.
that is made a name for itself.
Exactly.
In painting on all those
Utility
boxes.
Right.
That's a term I can never remember.
Yes.
I'm thrilled every time I see those.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I think it's very, very special
Yeah.
that they did that, and they continue to do very special projects, you know, and they, of course, have a little more money because I think the council is convinced that this is good for the city of Auburn.
Yes.
And people will come there even to just see the utility boxes and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely a shining star in our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I think of the arts, the Placer Arts, I think of the Art Walk, and I think of the studio tour.
Right.
Which is coming up when?
November 10th, 11th, and 12th.
In 2017, that's this weekend, isn't it?
That is this weekend.
And so probably this will not air by the time that the studio tour is on, but it will come up next year.
Right.
And show the perspectives. The magazine.
This is the quarterly magazine that Placer Arts puts out, and of course there's a center article in there on the studio's tour to inform people what it's all about.
Yeah, and information about the artists.
And this is the guide itself that a committee put together for the artists that are on the tour, and you know, the tour is a self-guided tour, and
it's
everything
free.
that's in this guide will get you to where you're going and more.
Yes. So we've learned about that at placerarts.org. But the message I've gotten is it is growing every year. This year it has 99 artists on it.
Right.
That's thrilling.
Yes.
That is just
Yes.
thrilling.
Yes.
And how long has the studio tour been going?
24th year
Okay.
this year, yeah, I know, and
Fun.
we have I call it the honor of giving some credit to Helen Phillips, who was the founder of the
The studio
Tour.
tour, yes.
and
She's the fabric dyer, isn't she?
yeah, batik artist, yeah.
Batik,
Yeah,
yes, oh
That's
God.
right, yeah,
Yes,
I know,
yes, I love
fabulous
that stuff.
batik work.
Yes,
And, yes, she, I think, was honored to be honored, so to
Good.
speak, and, they, rolled out a little red carpet for her at the reception.
Nice.
And, it was, it was special,
yes,
Yeah.
good.
it was.
So this is the studio tour, well, it happens only once a weekend, once a year on a weekend in
Right.
November. It's an ongoing thing. The impression I get about it, especially doing as I am preparing things,
Yeah.
events.
Right,
You are always and Placer Arts. You are always thinking about it,
true,
always planning
Yes.
for it, always approaching artists.
yes.
Yeah.
And we try to basically start earlier every year,
Mhm.
mainly with contacting organizations, businesses, individuals to be sponsors of the studios tour. And, we know that doing this very early in the year, and even maybe back into December, because budgets are planned
Mhm.
and such, and that makes for a successful sponsorship. And, we did quite well with a very small committee
Mhm.
this year, and, we've shown that it can be done.
Yes.
And we don't have to charge the $10 per person to go on the tour.
Mhm.
Everyone can go on the tour.
Mhm.
And I think that's great because, there are families that $10
Mhm.
can be a lot of money,
Yeah.
especially if, you have other members of the family, and that's times however many. But
Yeah.
the fact that we can offer a so-called free tour, I think that that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do? You organize. You contact people.
I was the coordinator during some of it for 9 years. I did that, and things were, let's say, a lot simpler then, because technology hadn't gotten to. I had email and internet, and that was kind
Now
of
it's-
about it. But it certainly got the job done
Yeah.
with the people that were on the tour, and we tried to keep the tour at that time like maybe no more than 80, although we did have 93 once as far as participants. And at that time, I think we had more artists that were just in their individual studios, so there were more locations. And now the focus is more having group locations to enable people to see more artists by visiting less locations,
Okay.
and they're therefore making better use of their time.
All right.
And I know not all artists agree with that, but it's
Yeah.
it's the way life is,
Okay. Okay.
So that's kind of what they've done this year. So we're missing a few of them that are in their individual studios if they were on, and I think they felt like, this was just too much competition maybe or something, I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
But, yeah, it's a good showing, one
Good.
way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
definitely.
move from that
Okay.
to Friends of the Library.
Okay, Friends of the Library, I've been a member, I don't even know how many years, but quite a few years. But heavens, the membership is as little as $10 a year, and, there are many of us that think everyone should belong to the Friends of the
Yeah.
Library, why not?
Yeah.
And right now our membership is a little over 500, and that's a lot of people that support the Friends of the Library. And we do, our big ongoing event year-round is the annual, or not the annual, but the monthly, twice a month in fact, book sale that takes place in the annex next to the library.
As you're facing the library, it's to the left up the hill.
To the right up the hill,
To the
right,
left up the
right.
hill.
And
To the right as you're standing at the annex.
depends, right, yeah, where you are, that's right.
Yeah.
And Jan Bailey has been the chair of that for, I can't tell you how many
Yeah.
years, and she does a phenomenal job
She
with
is
a
a tiger.
phenomenal
Yes.
committee.
Yes.
And I always say it's, you know, I think, I'm prejudiced, but I think it's the best book sale in town, because for one thing, Jan does not accept anything in the way of donations if it's not in good condition. So you not only get books and magazines and even some audio-visual items that are in good condition for a very nominal price.
Yes.
And consequently, I think generally speaking, the book sale itself for 1 year usually raises $17,000-18,000.
That's great.
So that is our biggest fundraiser.
I want to interrupt you.
Yes.
And because I know you're going to go to another fundraiser, but speaking of the library book sale, the first Wednesday of the month and the following Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
First Wednesday of the month and the following Saturday, from 9
Okay,
to
on
1?
Yeah,
9 to
on Wednesday it's 9 to 4.
Okay.
On Saturday it's 9 to 3.
Okay.
It took me a long time to get that straight in my mind, and I've got it.
Okay, yeah. It's and granted, you may feel, though, if you're watching me, that of course everybody knows about the library book sale, but if you know somebody who doesn't know, please let them know. The first Wednesday and the following Saturday in the Jean Cousins Annex,
Correct.
to the left of the library up the hill. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
she was the founder
Yes.
of Friends of the
Why
Library.
not?
Right, right.
Okay, so the other big deal fundraiser.
Okay, that's the annual dinner that we have the last Sunday of January. So it's next year, but it's January
2018.
2018,
Yeah, yes.
right. And this year we are pleased that Pat and Pete Enochs of former Latitudes
Yes.
fame has come back,
Yeah.
and they're not just doing an ordinary dinner.
No.
They are doing a Moroccan dinner. And they've, got their 3 entrees all planned, and
I've got my money in,
And
my reservation
that's
in.
good, because we know that reservations are going to go fast.
Yes.
And, so that's really, I think, extra special that we have them and that they're doing this totally different
Mhm.
kind of dinner, and we just know it's going to be good.
Yes, yes.
So,
So what do you do for Friends of the Library?
okay, I do the publicity. I kind of accepted when they asked, even though it is not my strong point. But I have to admit, the number, I think I've done it now for at least 4 years. Anyway, it has helped me. I mean, I'm not that good at it, but it has helped me, and
Good.
I have gotten better. And, I mean, just to give you an example, the noon program that, by the way, Bob Snyder is chairing after Margot Fulmer and Sherry Anderson retired after 5 whole years. Oh my gosh. And that's, that's a huge job. So, Bob is trudging along, and he has a whole different, the people that he's familiar with, and that's great. So, I mean, we have, new programs and all, but I know his wife helps him out with the flyers, and I'm sure he's going to be doing the flyers on his own one day, so that's good. But, yeah, anyway,
We all have our different talents.
I know,
Okay.
I know, that's true. And so I know that he has one program planned with a new cardiologist out at the hospital. And, he had a few lines about what she was going to talk about, and, and I kept thinking, well, if I'm going to do a press release, I need to have more information than this. So I suddenly thought, aha, I will contact the person who is always my contact out at the hospital when I drop off flyers and things for the events that I'm involved in. And I contacted her, and she first was going to refer me to the doctor's office, and then she said, oh no, wait, she was featured in our last newsletter, so let me pull that up. So anyway, it was exactly what I wanted. She sent it to me by email.
So
and then
Bob has his contacts,
I know,
so do you.
I know, and I forwarded it to Bob,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, it was everything I wanted, you
Yeah.
know, about her education and where she's from and about her family and her hobbies and, you know, what type of things she takes care of that have to do with cardiac. And yeah, so that was great.
Cool.
I just thought, you know, I can reword it a a little bit so I'm not copying the hospital, but I was so glad I thought of that and that it worked.
Yes, yes.
Success,
Yeah.
yes, and you know.
Now, recently, I'm interrupting you again,
No,
excuse
that's
me.
okay.
Recently, you got a major award?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Was it that long ago? My goodness.
Time flies.
Yes,
when
it
you're
does,
having fun.
Rosie. And so what was that?
That was the Art and Culture Award. It was the, you know, those awards for different, like, businesses and people. It's tied into when the McCann Award is, you know, presented. And anyway, I was selected for that. And I remember, you know, going back to my list of things 2-3 times because oh yeah, I forgot that, and I forgot, you know, I mean, you do, you have to really think about it. It's, yeah, kind of,
I really have been involved with a lot of things. I am valuable
well,
to this community. I
yeah.
really, wow.
yeah, because I mean, this spanned a 20-year time period, you know, and, you know, and I was, for 18 years of that time, I was the art curator at Latitudes Restaurant, and that was really a big part of my life because that's where I really got to meet artists and, you know, just,
So you did finally become an art curator,
yes.
just not at the hospital.
Right, yes, that's
And-
right,
Yeah, and
yes,
so I do remember enjoying lots
right,
of that art at
Right.
at Latitudes.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
And you were in the charter. You're a charter member of the Arts Commission, and you went on the Arts Commission a second time.
That's right, I accepted the second term, and then according to our bylaws, I turned out
Okay.
after that, so that was, 6 years.
Why did you go back?
I believed in what we were doing, and I did enjoy it, you know, so I felt like we made lots of people happy, I think.
Yes, yes.
And, you know, the murals, I mean, I think people really enjoy looking at those, and then, you know, and initially we came into Jeff Tomich, who, he was on disability at the time, but he volunteered his time
Yeah,
to do that
yeah.
first mural on Maryland's Fashionations wall. That was, that was really great,
Yeah.
And then later, the second one where Barbara Muscat brought some of her students over from E.B. Kane, where she taught, and, you know, he worked with them.
Yes.
So that was a neat beginning
Yes.
experience, yeah,
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
And you're involved with the Placer Arts Art Walk.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
How are you involved with it?
I act as a venue manager, so, and as do other members of the committee. And we, you know, either find the artist for the venue, knowing what kind of art they like, or in many cases, the venues choose to pick their own artist. And I know this coming year, there's going to be a lot of changes in, you know, all the programs, and so I'm sure it's still gonna be, you know, new and exciting, but,
Okay.
you know, we're looking forward to see what our new director, Jim Crossway, has to, you know, he
Okay.
has some great ideas, so I'm looking forward to that,
Good.
yeah.
So the art walk starts in April?
Correct.
On what day? The second?
First Friday.
First Friday.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
assuming that it will be the same, I don't think we're changing anything
Okay.
there, but,
So in the past, it's been the first Friday of April?
June, August, October,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And the art walk is a charming event. I just love the art walk. It brings out families, it brings
It
out
does,
musicians,
right.
and people just.
We have to credit the Auburn Arts Commission there too,
Yes.
because they bring out the, you know, the performing arts,
Yeah.
and, so, yeah, that's really great. And then this year, I was, thrilled to twice have, the, young woman who does the balloon art.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, she's done it for so long, and she's very good with children.
Yes.
And just made so many children
Mhm.
happy with her balloons.
Yeah.
And even the Downtown Business Association had her for one of their, you know, events.
Oh, good.
And people can see her down at the farmer's market. She's not there every time, but she's there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really good experience, and I like the idea that the money that she makes doing these balloons is paying for her college education.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think that's absolutely great. Yeah, currently she goes to American River College,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she will go on. But,
Yes.
you know,
Okay. But you are not an artist, per se.
I am not an artist, although, I mean, I say I used to sew. That was before I was involved in a lot of the volunteer
Mhm.
things that I'm involved in, but, I did make my own wedding gown, and so that, you know, was a big
So you are an
project.
artist, okay.
Well, I guess I'm a textile fabric artist.
Yeah.
Just I don't really do it right now. I do enjoy it when I have time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, do you ever, do you collect art? Do you
I
collect
do.
visual art?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, art from local artists when I do get something, so I do have over the years, a bit of a collection.
Yeah,
Right,
good.
right. In fact, when I termed out on the Arts Commission, I got my first piece of Nicholson blown glass. It was this lovely small dish that just, you know, it was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh,
Yes, yeah,
this is
that's a
wonderful.
reward.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, I like that, that was great.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I have been talking to this person who drenches herself in art and books and library stuff. And you see her everywhere. I see you everywhere. I keep bumping into you. And I'm never surprised because that means she's always working. If you're interested in learning more about Placer Arts, placerarts.org. If you're interested in Friends of the Library or volunteering for Friends of the Library, folauburn.org. If you're interested in getting Rosie to help you on one of your projects, sorry, she has not given me permission to let you know that. So she's busy enough. Thank you, Rosie, very much for joining me.
well, Susan, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, and thanks for watching.